Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast. I'm Santi, that's Sancho. We're in this weird Royal Rumble, pre-Rumble purgatory where there isn't too much to talk about. Superstars don't really have feuds because we're waiting for the Rumble, but Sancho, how have you been?
I'm doing well. Underneath the weather, for those of you who don't know, kids are a cesspool of germs and bacteria. If one of them gets it, the rest of the family gets it, and it's a world of pain.
I feel great.
Of pain.
I feel great.
Oh, great.
I'm fantastic.
Oh, yeah? I saw you out there doing your little wee badminton.
Okay,
that was
yes.
you.
Really,
that
we're bringing up the potentially life-threatening injury that occurred on Twitch while playing Wii badminton. That's messed up, bro.
It's so funny that when you decide to step into my realm, the realm of video games, your little 6'8" ass got handed to by a Wii remote, a Switch remote, and playing badminton. Way to go.
Okay, to clarify, I'm not 6'8". I don't wanna create a false expectation when you see me in real life and I'm not 6'8".
I mean, you're pretty close to it if you wore those wrestling boots that had a couple inches on it. That's yeah.
I was like 6'5" or 6'6" with my football cleats on.
Oh, okay. So why are you trying to switch the conversation from you getting hurt playing Wii Sports?
Because I want to remind the world that I am an elite athlete nonetheless. Played every sport. I was great at it. Captain. I was the man. I was him, as they say. I peaked in high school. I was one of those guys.
Oh, no. Dude, how did you hurt yourself? Didn't you see the instructions? Make sure you have enough room around you, and it showed you the little motions.
It does, but it doesn't take for account streamers. The mic was like hanging out in the void, and I hit it, and it really hurt.
Are you on the IR?
I'm on the IR, brother. I'm on the IR. But folks, welcome to the Wrestling is Cool podcast, coolest wrestling podcast on the planet. This is a wrestling podcast that you could have been listening to 3 days earlier than everywhere else over on Patreon, patreon.com/SantiZap. Over there, we upload so much more that you never see on free feeds like YouTube, like the podcast 3 days early, like the Raw reviews, like the SmackDown reviews. And by the way, we use footage for those, which allows us to go play by play. I'm thinking about getting a telestrator.
No.
Yes, I am, so that I can write Sancho sucks ass in the middle of my reviews. You also get the Undertaker WrestleMania watch-alongs that we're doing, the Royal Rumble watch-alongs.
Can we talk about that phrase? Like, what do you mean?
What do I mean?
What do you mean?
That you suck ass?
Yeah, like, what does this mean?
You know what it means. Picture it in your mind's eye, what you suck an ass looks like. That's
started way too early. This is way too
demonetized.
Oh, YouTube. Nope.
Yeah. Little yellow icon of demonetization. But you also get the 5 weekly Wrestling is Cool Match Club watch along. So if you're keeping count, that's about 10, 11, 12, depending on the week, pieces of content that are extra to you for the low price of $5. $5 gets you everything, by the way. The whole gambit. All of the content. It is not behind different tiers. There are different tiers for extra things, like the $15 tier, where you get to hang out with us once a month for movie night, where we're going to be watching The Rundown with The Rock.
Yes.
I'm excited for that. So if you want that extra community bit tier, you can do that. But again, all of the content is available at $5. It's a great value. Great value, Sancho. I know value.
Dude, that one scene in The Rundown where the guy's like saying, "I will not go quietly into the night," and then The Rock's character, who vows that he will never use a gun, starts getting the double pump shotties, dude. And goes to Kimbo.
Well, don't spoil it for the people. You guys gotta come to the Patreon in order to experience it with us.
That movie's like what, 2001?
It's I want to say 2003. I'm gonna say
That sounds right.
I'm gonna say 2003. Yes, I know my early rock. I know my early rock. Walking Tall came first, I believe. It was Walking Tall. Yeah,
I'm not a fan of Walking Tall.
I liked Walking. I did. I liked Walking Tall, but then again, I was a mark for anything Dwayne Johnson back then. If The Rock was in it, I was watching it. I don't care if it was Doom 2005. I was in theaters watching it.
What was that movie? Cool. What was it?
Be Cool. Be Cool with oh my goodness, John Travolta. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, literally after WrestleMania 19, and he does The Rundown, Walking Tall, and Be Cool. Yeah. Wow.
Good times.
What about Southland Tales? Are you a fan of Southland Tales?
I don't even know what that is. That's a rock movie?
Yeah. What about Gridiron Gang?
So if you find my old Call of Duty videos, Sancho, there is a Gridiron Gang poster behind me for years.
Why did you get rid of it?
I don't know. I mean, I moved out and I didn't need a Gridiron Gang poster anymore.
Wow. Did you ever think about the last time you looked at that poster? That it would have been the last time? Like,
yes, my goodbye.
Taking down your Gridiron Gang, taking down your Hustle, Loyalty, Respect poster.
My Chain Gang poster.
Taking down changing your little WWF sheets.
Did you ever have WWE, WWF sheets?
Yes.
Did you?
I did. Nerd. In the 80s. Yeah.
Pathetic.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and tell my 7-year-old me he's pathetic.
You should. You should go through the closet
I lived in a great era of WWF merch. We had that. We had the Russell Buddies. We had the sandwiches. We had so many, the Bret Hart glasses, the foam fingers, the foam. What was it?
Was there anything from your childhood, and I'll come up with an answer as well, that you were into that you could go full Matthew McConaughey, go back in time, yell through the closet, "No, you're pathetic. No, don't get into that." Is there anything? I think for me, it was marbles. No. Kind of looking back, I was like, marbles are fucking lame. They were pretty dumb. There were so many other cool things I could have been doing, but I got deeply into marbles.
I think it's the opposite for me. It's Pokemon cards. Because I remember them. And I remember we had the neighborhood kids started to collect them, and I was a little bit older than them. And I wasn't this doesn't look like it's for me. But there was they had the Charizard. They had
could have been a millionaire.
I could have been a millionaire. I could have been like Logan Paul rocking out there and running around. So I think in Pokemon cards, because I was into Slammers. You ever heard of Pog Slammers?
I was into Slammers, but were you not into the Pokemon Pogs?
Yeah. I remember them, but I was more into the Beavis and Butthead Pogs.
Oh, that's lame. Really? Beavis and Butthead Pogs? Are you serious?
Dude, Beavis and Butthead was the shit.
But you couldn't have been very old when Beavis and Butthead was out. Were you their age demo?
Oh,
you were too young, no?
I was way too young.
Yeah.
I mean, I was way too young for a lot of things when it comes to media back then in the 90s.
That to be fair, that is the 90s. The 90s and the early 2000s. I was like, why am I 12 years old and why am I in the theater for Saw?
I was way too young for the Attitude Era. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But they thought it was just wrestling because in their mind, it was the Saturday morning cartoons, Hulk Hogan brother. It wasn't Stone Cold drinking beer and things of that sort.
It wasn't Sable.
No, it wasn't Sable with her handprint bra and that kind of stuff. There were so many things that were not appropriate for me in the 90s. I mean, that's what it was. I think it only became people started to really think about stuff during the GTA 3 Vice City days. That's when people were like, wait a minute. There's a lot of things that are not appropriate for children.
That's fair. Yeah, because even I remember in the really, really early 2000s when I was 8, 7, I was able to get into every movie. They didn't even ID. So long as I was with an older sibling, they're like, yeah, sure, go ahead, bring the kid in. But then come the Saw days, 2003, 4, 5, come Tuesday, I couldn't get into those movies anymore, but they still didn't have nowadays you have your specific seat for a movie. I would just then, I'm going to go watch Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and then I'm just going to hop over to go watch Saw 3. That's what I'm going to do.
Nah, you made a mistake there, dog.
I know. I should have gone to see Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs because it was a banger.
That movie was a banger, dude. But I find it interesting if it's the same thing for wrestling these days. Is it appropriate for kids? I don't think so. I think maybe the GCWs of the world and maybe those are kind of inappropriate, and sometimes definitely AEW can be. I mean,
AEW PLEs definitely I wouldn't say are child friendly.
Dude, you remember when Penta literally put that little sticks on Jon Moxley?
Yes.
We were less than a year removed from that. But I think WWE, which was interesting because everyone was like, oh, dude, they're going to go back to the Attitude Era days. They're going to cuss left and right. They're going to do these crazy segments. And then Nick Khan and Triple H were like, no, we're going to keep it as family friendly as possible. But we're going to dip our toes in that thing. We got to think about it. Money is everywhere, family oriented type of businesses.
Brother, WWE is in its prime SpongeBob days. You know what that means? It
No,
means
hit me, break it
that
down.
it can be enjoyed by everybody. It has got good and creative humor where it can humor a child, but also humor an adult. That is what Prime SpongeBob was all about. The WWE is in that same stage, not with humor, but in terms of drama and content, where it can get right to the line before it stops being family friendly, before it stops being accessible to children, but still being entertaining enough and edgy and interesting enough for all adults to be able to enjoy as well. Because I don't think that you could legitimately watch wrestling now and say, oh, this is like just for kids. This is made for kids. No, this is a wide-ranging, family-friendly product. But as you know, because it's the space that you work in, I feel like the term family-friendly has the connotation that it's for kids, which isn't always the case. It just means that kids can watch in the process, but adults can as well.
I think the word we're looking for is family accessible. You know, it's accessible to the.
Wait,
family.
why is friendly different than accessible? That's an actual question.
Feels friendly means to me that it's like you are purposely making it like watered down. You're diluting it in a sense of like you're taking the taste out a little bit. You know, you're trying to soften. Like, okay, realistically, Fortnite is rated T for teen, right? But everybody watches it. 7, 8-year-olds, they play it and things of that sort. So you could technically say that it is family. You could make it family friendly by kind of watering it down a little bit, right? In video games in general, you could be family, like it's for everybody, but of course people take it to the next level and be toxic. When you're saying you're family friendly, meaning like you could have my stream on or my content on, and I'm not gonna go off the handle, so to speak, or I'm not gonna cuss it out. But I think that when it comes to wrestling, I feel it's more family accessible because it could be for everybody, like we mentioned, but it's not going to pander to a child.
I get it. I hear the difference.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, not pandering to the children, but it's watchable for children if they happen to be watching.
Like, because as a father, I have 2 kids, a 3 and 7-year-old. I know that if I'm not supervising wrestling, I can't just say go ahead and watch wrestling without me because I have to explain some things. You know, I have to explain like, oh, this person's not really getting thrown through a glass or real glass, that type of stuff. I have to explain it and let them know like, hey, you can't do this at school because you get in trouble. That type of thing. Like that, I feel that is where it's family accessible. Family friendly is like you could go, all right.
Sure.
Miss Rachel.
I get it. Yeah, it is important what parents say to their kids because I remember like I was playing GTA San Andreas and in Vice City like quite young, and the conversation was, you know, you can't do that, right? I was like, yes, father. Okay. All right, go ahead. Go play it.
Yes, father.
See, papa.
Dude, Vice City was so good though, right?
It was really good. Vice City or San Andreas? Which one did you like more?
Vice City.
Okay. All right.
I'm a big Ray Liotta fan.
Fair enough. I feel like they're equally good as quality games. I feel like it just depends on what vibe you like more. Do you like the 80s rap hip hop culture, which is like super awesome, or do you like the 80s, 70s Miami Vice, you know, Colombian drug cartel era of the United States?
You meant the 90s San Andreas. Yeah.
Is San Andreas is in the 90s? You're right. Yes.
Yeah. But I mechanically, game wise, I did not like that I had to like work out, eat right.
You didn't have to.
You
just could.
If it's an option there, then I'm gonna do it.
You were fat in San Andreas, weren't you?
It was funny to me, you know, that you could influence a game that way, and I think it's interesting. It's a mechanic that no longer exists, but it's too RPG. I'm not a big fan of RPGs, dude. I don't like inventory screens, and I don't like managing stamina and health and all that stuff. I don't like it.
Hey, we all have our quirks. I don't like open world games, but you know what I do like? I like wrestling, and we're getting more of it in this partnership between TNA Wrestling, total nonstop action, and the WWE. It is.
Oh, okay.
Is there something else that you thought it might stand for?
No,
no, not at all.
No, not at all. No.
See what we mean? Family accessible here.
Family accessible. There it is. Family accessible.
Yeah, so they came out with a statement saying that we have a multi-year agreement between TNA and the WWE that will allow for WWE superstars to appear on TNA television and pay-per-views, and for TNA wrestlers to appear on WWE TV and their PLEs. The statement did mostly focus on NXT, but it doesn't close the door for main roster either. I do think that we're mostly going to, if not just for the Rumble, I feel like in terms of regular like invasion angles and crossovers that can actually have storylines, I don't think that we get any on the main roster. The main roster is just so packed right now. There's people on the main roster that are not even getting any time, any shine, any time, any tender love and care, that I don't think that you can fit a TNA angle on the main roster. But on NXT, you absolutely can, and we're already seeing it. We saw Cora Jade appear on TNA Genesis, facing off against TNA Knockouts champion Masha Slamovich. We had Ashante the Adonis on the pre-show of Genesis. We had Fraxium appear on the show to face off with the Hardys and the Rascals. So the crossover has already started. It's funny because I feel like it was last week or the week before where I mentioned that this is a different era with the Forbidden Door, right? Like we don't have this like open gate where people can just walk in and out of like AEW has in the WWE. But before, the WWE, when it came to the Forbidden Door, it was a literal iron curtain. It was just not happening. Even if you managed to make your way over to the WWE with a recognized to the other side, if you managed to make it to the WWE from a recognizable wrestling organization, if you made it to the WWE, they didn't care. You started from the ground up with a new gimmick, and we're gonna make you dance, baby. But now, not only can wrestlers come over with their old gimmick and their old presentation and sometimes their old entrance theme, now we have this where they can literally still be in a different organization and cross over with the WWE. You have been watching wrestling longer than I, and even I've been watching long enough to say that this is unprecedented. This doesn't happen with the WWE in the amount of time that I've been watching. It's just not a thing. They've been so closed off to this idea that, to me, I feel, Sancho, all right? I'm going to sound like an old man, that kids these days won't appreciate how crazy this is. They won't appreciate how crazy this is. Why I ought to.
You gotta remember the time era. I think the word you're looking for is there is a lack of pettiness now in the WWE. The WWE was a super petty company to the point where even if a wrestler left the WWE, they said, you know what, we still own your gimmick and we're gonna keep your gimmick and allow you to go to WCW and create a fake Diesel and a fake Razor Ramon. The pettiness is gone. Vince McMahon was a part of the most petty man. He's gone. So that's going to allow these kind of relationships. I still think it is a disservice, though, to the TNA talent not to have them sniff the main roster. I think what this is creating, though, is another source of, I guess, a pool of talent that the WWE could pull from. And that if you got to the main event of TNA, the bridge is there to easily cross over into the WWE. The Joe Hendrys, the Jordan Graces of the world, the Josh Alexanders, and maybe the Mooses of the world. Like those kind of talent can now easily go to WWE because you could say, well, look how well they treated you when you were a TNA, and look how much promotion they gave you, how much love they gave you here. Why not sign with WWE versus with AEW? I think this is a strategic move as well to just siphon more talent away from AEW, just to take away a huge pool of talent who get exposure on television, who get time on television, to take them off the table for AEW and to keep them exclusive to WWE. It's a very interesting farm system, and I think it's going to continue because now WWE has the TNA farm to pull and the WWE ID system that they're pulling from the indie wrestlers to say, hey, look at us. We gave you early promotion. We talked about you about your socials. We gave you a little contract. We gave you tender love and care at the indie level. Where are you going to sign when you're ready to step up? Come over to the WWE, come to NXT. So it's a vast, interesting system that they are building out, and I think it's building out for the future. And I think what this does is just puts AEW in more of a bind that they're going to have less and less people to pull from. I mean, they have the CMLL, they have New Japan, but they've already exhausted those realms, those wells. And I feel like, you ever watch, what was it? What's that movie with Daniel Day-Lewis? And he plays the oil guy. And he's like, I, my son PW, and I drink your milkshake. You don't remember? Come on, Till There Be Blood? Is that what it is?
I have no idea what you're referencing.
Get cultured. You need to stop watching your children's movies and watch a real man's movie starring Daniel Day-Lewis, brother. You ever seen Daniel Day-Lewis movies? That's the apex of acting, brother. He's one of the best of all time. You ever seen a great movie called Gangs of New York with Leonardo DiCaprio and John C. Reilly and Daniel Day-Lewis? Huh?
I haven't, no.
Dog. Come on.
All right, I'm missing
What
out.
are you? What are you? An Interstellar guy? Ooh,
It's good.
Christopher Nolan is the man.
No, I'm a rundown guy, which we're gonna get to watch soon. That's the type of movie that I'm into.
Sean William Scott, dude.
Yes.
He's pretty good in that movie, dude.
He's good. He's good. Not as
He's
good as
good.
he is in American Pie, though. Classic.
That
has
he
not
peaked
aged
early.
well.
He peaked early, dude.
He did.
What's the best scene of American Pie was there Eugene Levy looking at his son, Jason Biggs, and goes, "Let's just tell your mom we ate it."
Yeah. Bro, my dad looks like Eugene Levy.
I'm gonna look like Eugene Levy.
You are. Yeah, you've got
Caterpillar Bad Boys.
You've got Eugene Levy vibes about yourself.
Yeah.
So you'd mentioned, it makes it a bit more, I guess not palatable isn't the right word, but a bit more, look what's happening on the other side. The grass is greener on the other side when WWE is giving this shine. Enticing, yeah. Giving the shine to those that are in the ID program, giving the shine to those TNA wrestlers appearing on NXT and getting treated really well there. I feel like we're seeing the very first fruits of that labor, Jordan Grace, which I think no one is expecting to go anywhere aside from the WWE, right? Like,
yep.
It's like, dude, you have to go to WWE. If you're done with TNA, you saw how they treated you in NXT. You got championship opportunities. You were treated really well there. You got a chance at the Rumble. No one is expecting Jordan Grace to go anywhere but the WWE. And to me, that's how the WWE wins in this ecosystem. That's how they win with this deal, where they don't have to get into crazy bidding wars with Tony Khan. And you mentioned, hey, TNA, they can struggle at times to get that talent from New Japan, from the indies. And the reason they can struggle at times is because they can't outbid Tony Khan. Now they don't have to. Now they can bring in talent from NXT and they can refill their coppers, their war chest with somebody having maybe a year-long run from in NXT in TNA. That can happen now with this multi-year agreement, couple months, whatever it might be. But now they can dive into that well and get recognizable names that are instantly marketable for their TNA product. This is such a huge win-win. Again, I don't think that it extends to the main roster. There is a giant disparity, Sancho, in terms of main roster popularity and TNA popularity. Frankly, Sancho, there's a huge discrepancy between NXT and TNA as well in terms of popularity. It might not feel that way when you're like deeply ingrained in the internet wrestling community and the culture, where it feels like TNA is this giant name. But when you look at like ratings and how many eyeballs NXT brings versus TNA, it's way more on NXT than it is on TNA. And if it is way more on NXT, imagine the vast difference between a main roster on Netflix and USA Network versus TNA. So I feel like NXT is the right brand for TNA that makes the most sense, where the WWE isn't getting ripped off necessarily. I feel like this can be a true benefit for everybody here as well. And it also makes it so that these TNA talents that you're talking about, the Jordan Graces of the world, maybe somewhere down the line, Joe Hendry, the big names, right? They can make these stints in NXT, and once their TNA time is officially up, they don't have to go to NXT. They can now go right into the main roster, as opposed to doing like a traditional NXT run that you might expect nowadays.
I think the biggest thing as well that we're forgetting is I feel that if you're in TNA, you want that exposure, but at the same time, the experience is valuable. And just to go back to what you were saying, there's a lot of wrestling to watch now. A lot. We have a lot of hours, even in WWE, even if you're AEW. So TNA comes on Thursdays. And it's not saying that TNA's product's bad. They are great. They are phenomenal. I like TNA. To me, feels like it's a mix between AEW and WWE. You get that right mix of storytelling. You get the right mix of like crazy action. And then you get the in-between of some zaniness that TNA can do, like PCO type of stuff. I've enjoyed it so much. And I think that an opportunity for you to check them out would be great. Now, it'd be cool if the TNA Plus was rolled in to some sort of WWE thing. Like, if that would be awesome.
I didn't think of that. That'd be kind of cool. They did it with Evolve Wrestling a few years ago, where Evolve got put into the WWE network.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. Like, either like not necessarily a Max deal, but put it on Netflix or even on Peacock. I think Peacock would probably be interested in replacing some of the content that they're losing. That's for sure. Because I wouldn't say the relationship between Peacock and WWE is bad. I think Peacock did a great job on the streaming network. There's so much archives, and it's really accessible and it's really nice. The only thing I don't like about Peacock is the quality is not that great. I still think Netflix has the best quality of all streaming services. Netflix on Raw just looks so crispy. Like the cameras they use, the lenses, I don't know what it is, but it feels like I'm watching an upgraded product. But back to TNA, I'm excited, but I gotta talk about something, brother. You think it's all NXT? I have something controversial. Is this a safe place?
Sure. Go ahead.
Finn Balor should go to TNA.
Okay.
He needs it. I'm talking about a complete retooling, a refresh. Just get him some wins, brother. Let him dominate. Let him carry around a belt. Let him be sought after. Let him just show the world what he's capable of. Because if you continue to put him in, and he may be happy with his slot right now, right? He may be, oh, cool. I'm cool being the Judgment Day guy, and I'm cool working with my friends and this type of attitude, right? But this guy was a world-class wrestler in the New Japan. He was world-class when he came to WWE. He was treated as he was world-class. He was the first Universal Champion. He had all these accolades coming into the WWE. He had everything going his way, and then an injury happened that derailed him. Now he's clawed his way back to a spot that we were hoping for to be the launch point after the screw job against Damian Priest, and it hasn't hit. He's hokey. He's like, just listen to Finn and we win. There's so many things that he's not Finn Balor, man. He's not Prince Devitt. Like that's the guy I want, man. And I think a TNA rewashing, not like necessarily like a Nick Namath type situation, because I feel that's different. I think Nick Namath's trying to, aka Dolph Ziggler, trying to build his own thing. I'm just talking about send him down there, let him dominate, let him carry the title for a good stretch, and then that way when it comes back to WWE, he has some juice, man, because he's out of juice.
That's worked for Finn Balor before.
Right?
In 2019, after losing to The Fiend at SummerSlam, he disappeared for a bit, and then he reappeared in NXT. Had a second NXT run, a great heel run in NXT champion again, and then he came back to the main roster feeling like revitalized, and you wanted to see him again, and we were all down for Finn Balor again. Maybe that's what he needs here, honestly. Like, I feel so bad for Finn Balor fans. They might be the most used and abused wrestling fan base in the WWE. These are people that are so poorly treated as fans because they love Finn Balor. They know Finn Balor is good enough to get like the proper push and the proper runs, and just never seems to get that proper polish and shine. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't hate it. I really wouldn't. Going the other way though, Sancho, is there anyone from... Actually, no, let's stick with the WWE to TNA. Is there anybody else from the main roster that you think could benefit from a TNA shine?
PFC.
Okay.
100% PFC.
Sure, PFC, yeah.
They always do well. And I think the only issue is when they go, oh, you need to get respect, so we're going to get respect from the locker room. Doesn't work unless you capture gold. As a heel, you need to have that goal to get respect from the locker room. And I feel like they run into constant walls. And when you run into Natalya all the time, that's like, there's no other roads for you. Legado definitely deserves it. I know they're getting Los Garza's definitely getting a second chance here in the tag team division of doing something, but definitely Escobar, right? Mm-hmm. He needs a little bit of lifting because right now he's just a manager role for Los Garza because they're trying to focus on that. I mean, dude, send Carlito over there, right? Carlito, who's been now just jokey character, who always regulated to saying that's cool and hitting on Raquel, right? That would be someone to benefit. I think those would be someone from the main roster that I kind of looking at. They could, even Pretty Deadly, I think, could use a burn down there too. Pretty Deadly, I feel like, is not showing everything that they're capable of. When I think of people, Santi, I'm thinking of people that have potential, they just don't have TV time. That is always the case for most wrestling talent, is if you just give them a little bit more time, a little bit more segment, a little bit more time in the ring, they can actually do something. I mean, ever since Penta showed up, I haven't seen Dragon Lee in a while.
Nah, that's fair.
Hey, have you seen anyone talk about Dragon Lee?
No, we don't need to, man, because we got the new shiny mask dude.
Who's awesome. But
he is
that's what I mean. It should be those characters. Like, for a while, I would have said Chelsea Green until they gave her the United States title. So those are the kind of wrestlers that you're hoping for. Now, this is all speculation, right? I don't know if a wrestling, like, I could be happy if I have a job that's secure and all I have to do is this night in and night out, and I get paid and taken care of, and I'm making like good money, almost generational money. I don't have to worry about a thing. But if in terms of prestige or legacy, if that's what they care about, then I think a TNA shutdown would be. I wouldn't consider it like a demotion, but I think a lot of wrestlers do see that as demoting because they didn't even see going down to NXT as a demotion.
What about going the other way around?
Wait, what about you? What about you?
No, I feel, I like the names that have legacy in TNA. I would love Motor City Machine Guns to have even if it's just a couple of matches over there, I feel like they would be really well received. AJ Styles is like my number one choice. AJ Styles having one more run.
You were wanting him for a long time.
Yeah. AJ Styles having one final run as the TNA World Champion. You know, like, we've been talking about, can AJ Styles have that one more final run on the main roster? And it becomes more difficult and difficult as time passes and as we see what kind of champions we have at the top of the mountain for both the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship. It just feels like it's getting more and more out of reach for AJ Styles, but not the TNA World Championship. That actually literally is the house that AJ Styles built. That would actually be such a cool full circle end of a career for AJ Styles to, under the WWE umbrella, go to TNA and win the World Championship over there, kind of having a foot in both camps, the two camps that really made the name of AJ Styles. WWE didn't make the name of AJ Styles, but you get what I'm saying. AJ Styles is my number one choice. In terms of TNA going to WWE, I guess I mostly want to like focus on the Rumble. Like, I only have 3 names that I feel like are Rumble worthy. I guess. Joe Hendry as the new world champion. Jordan Grace, who maybe doesn't even count as a TNA person, you know, like, because she might just literally be debuting in the WWE under a WWE contract. But then the other one would probably just be Masha Slamovich, who had a great match at Genesis, the current TNA Knockouts champion, which is their women's championship. I think it'd be cool to have both men's and women's top champions from TNA in the Royal Rumble. But the names is so much more vast going down to NXT, as we've already seen so many people like Rosemary even being in NXT for a little while.
I wonder, I when Joe Hendry won the title, in my mind, that told me that Nick Nemeth is not going to be in the Rumble.
That told me the same thing. Thing.
Because I would have assumed if Nick Nemeth aka Dolph Ziggler, had the title going into Rumble, that he would be the one that appears. But in my mind, I don't think Nick Nemeth wants to be in the WWE right now.
I agree.
He's not ready to go back. He's
wanting to let it breathe more.
Yeah. I think he wants to have like a level, like right now he would get like a good 8 to 9. I think he wants like a 15 level pop, like a rated R superstar pop, right? That's what he's going for. So yeah, definitely Joe Hendry's going to come out there and he's going to be, you know, the TNA champion, and that means Joe Hendry's not going to be on the roster for a while. That's a definitely sign because he's got some work to do with that TNA title. Josh Alexander, because he quit too.
He quit. I feel like that's NXT though. I just don't see Josh Alexander having.
See, you say that.
I say that. Sure.
Every good Rumble has athleticism. When I'm rating the Royal Rumbles for the Royal Rumble in review for the Patreon exclusive in Wrestling School, for those who don't know, we watch the entire Rumble and then we review it. Athleticism carries a Rumble so well, especially when you know that the guys that are wrestling are not going to be the winners, but you just want something to keep the action going, hard-hitting, flowing. You don't want wrestlers to go, bam, run in, go to the corner. That's what was happening in earlier days. You want a Josh Alexander in that Rumble, dude, to throw some bodies around. You need some of that. You know what's missing from this Rumble? Now that I'm thinking about it, now we're going to probably transition to talking about Rumble. Before we do, there's no big guys. There's no giant dudes.
They suck,
There's only
bro.
one. There's
Who
only
cares?
one.
Who cares? Big guys suck.
I thought you were Omos guy.
I like Omos, but who cares about Omos in the Rumble, man? Who cares?
I would agree with you. After watching so many Rumbles, big guys are booked so badly.
They suck. How will they ever get them over the top rope? Oh, look, they got him over the top rope. It's the same gimmick every time.
My favorite spot is when they get him in the corner, they go,
so dumb. I hate it.
It's like they get a 10+ buff when they're in the Royal Rumble. You know what I mean?
They use their AOE attack.
yeah, exactly.
Before we move on from TNA, Joe Hendry was on Busted Open, and he mentioned that he was asked who's like the biggest threat to his title, and this man had the gall to say John Cena. That John Cena could win his 17th world title by winning the TNA World Championship. Before I go on my rant, what are your thoughts on that?
In moments when patience escapes, follow with apology. In moments where patience thrives, lead with gratitude.
Ooh.
I don't know. John Cena says it the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just got to be. I think what's Joe Hendry jumped the gun a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's a clever thing. I think it's one of those things like you shouldn't have said anything because I think they had plans for something like that, a stare down, or maybe this is the beginning, the seed of getting a Joe Hendry John Cena team up. Because it feels definitely like an X-Men and Street Fighter type of situation because you're talking about someone who is a viral meme. At the moment in the WWE eyes, I know in TNA, if you're a TNA guy, you know that guy is legit, right? But as a casual WWE fan, you got to go, well, is he just like a song right now? Because you haven't seen him do much in NXT except have one NXT match. But that's like the mountaintop, brother. You're going, that's like if you called out Hogan in the 80s, you call out Stone Cold, and you're not even in the WWE. But good for him, dude. One of those things like, it doesn't hurt to ask. It doesn't hurt.
I guess.
Just throw your name out there.
No,
right?
in that same interview, he said that he feels like he can go toe to toe with Cena on the mic. No, you can't.
Wow.
No. I love Joe Hendry, but no, you can't. Rather, in his defense, very few people on this God-given green earth can go toe to toe with John Cena on the microphone, and I don't think that Joe Hendry is one of those guys. I'm happy to be proven wrong, but I don't think he's one of those guys.
I think the only ammunition Joe Hendry has is a song, a parody.
Sure.
And that would give him a leg up. But dude, John is unbreakable. When I saw him with The Rock in those promos, and The Rock was giving the most surface level, like grade A nuclear heat, so to speak, to John Cena's character and everything they stood for, and John Cena just goes, call me Fruity Pebbles, I don't care. Like, that is something that's unbreakable. And I think that John Cena's just too weathered, dude. He's probably been told every single thing under the sun. The only thing that no one's ever attacked John Cena is his age. I haven't really heard anyone go up against his age. Maybe Austin Theory did, but no one's really said, like, dude, what are you doing here? You don't belong here.
Yeah, but now you can't because he's pointed it out.
I know, that's what. So John Cena is like he ketos everything, and John Cena. You know who could go toe to toe with John Cena?
Who?
John Cena.
Multiverse John Cena. Juan Cena.
Dude, he's in the McDonald's McValue menu. When you order McDonald's, you order your meal, his big face pops up and he says, "Thank you."
Oh, weird.
It's like, John Cena.
I did see him.
Did you see that John Cena, as in the McDonald's ad, did this and he disappeared?
No, this is an American thing, clearly. I haven't seen it here.
You don't have McDonald's in Canada?
We have McDonald's, but it's not the
What's
same.
it called?
It's called McDonald's.
It's
so stupid. Shut up. Go away. Like, log off. I want to talk about the Cena winning the 17th, and the 17th being the TNA World title is like the worst possible idea that you could have.
Serve poutine 24 hours.
They do have poutine at Canadian McDonald's. I'm not even kidding. I'm literally not kidding. There's poutine in Canadian McDonald's.
Dog, World McDonald's is so much cooler than American, dude.
Mm-hmm. You guys don't have poutine in yours?
No, because we're American.
That's dumb.
And I'm proud to be an American.
Would you like a side of medical debt with your fries? That's what you get at your McDonald's.
So true. And when I stand up. I'm surprised WWE hasn't done McDonald's toys. I would have been all about it.
Like, literally never? You sure about that?
I'll look it up. You talk about your next.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I don't want Cena winning his 17th being the TNA World title. Not that people think that that's actually going to happen, but listen, the big problem with that is that if Cena breaks the record with a title that has not been typically recognized by the WWE as a world title before, that gives senile Ric Flair all of the ammunition that he needs to say, see this backwoods Alabama world championship that I won all those years ago, this counts. Because in Ric Flair's eyes, the record's like 26, not 16. And all of those extra titles that he's made up that are phantom titles are world titles that have never really been recognized. So if WWE all of a sudden recognizes a TNA World Championship as part of Cena's record, then all of a sudden, honestly, Ric Flair is kind of right. His extra bum ass world championships that he won in backwater wrestling or
Is it
whatever.
like
All of a sudden they count.
NWA?
Well, no, they
NWA?
count his
The
NWA
Mid-South?
championships.
They do.
They
Okay.
do.
What
They
about
count
the Mid-South. They count Mid-South.
I don't know if they count the Mid-South, but like they
Or
count like
Memphis?
they count the big ones, the ones that
okay.
the ones that you would know. Like they count his big gold belt reigns. They count his NWA championships. But
So-
he's got a whole bunch of other ones that he's like, what, these count too, brother. I don't know why he turned into Hulk Hogan there. But if all of a sudden they recognize Cena's 17th, the TNA world title, then Ric Flair actually has a leg to stand on with his argument. And I don't want him to have a leg to stand on.
WWE only has Burger King toys.
Lame.
That would be a WWE thing to do.
Right,
Go
it
with
would
Burger
be.
King.
Burger King,
You're
why?
like, the
Great onion
Whopper's
rings.
the Whopper's not bad.
I like the
Whopper's not
Whopper.
bad.
No, just say
Yeah.
it. You like the Whopper. Just say you don't. This is a safe place. Say it. Say it.
I enjoy the Whopper.
Just say
It's something.
Yeah, you like it.
Oh, you want me to like it? Okay.
you want you to like it.
The problem is, it's like when you have a choice, why would you go with Burger King when you could go with McDonald's?
Sure.
Did you know if you tell McDonald's to take something off the burger, they make it like fresh? Because of course they assemble it, right? But if you like say like no salt or like plain or like toasted bun, they got to make it fresh. If you know a good hack though, if you say extra fry on the nuggets, they dip them again in the and it's white nuclear hot when you eat it.
Extra fry on the nuggets. That's good.
I learned that from such a chatter in my one of my Twitch streams a long time ago who worked at McDonald's. He's like, brother, ask for an extra fry. I'm like, all right, dude, I'm in.
Oh, man. I think we were good to move from the TNA topic. We already kind of talked about Jordan Grace, lost to Tessa Blanchard, which is crazy. Those chants in the TNA arena. Did you see those? Woof. Man, TNA, you are playing with fire.
Who had a bad week? Hogan or Blanchard? I don't know. They're the same boat.
Oh, man. I would say Tessa. Hogan's a made man. Tessa's trying to climb back, you know. It's a shame, dude. Tessa Blanchard is so good as a wrestler. She is so good, but it is impossible to look past all of the other things that she's done. And it's not even like allegations. Like these are coming out of the mouth of other wrestlers that you and I respect, like Chelsea Green, right? Like so it's so impossible to overlook, but she's so good in the ring. It's a shame. But it is what it is. And the TNA crowd let her hear it.
There's always a company, though, that will take her in because she's really talented, though.
Fair enough. Let's talk about WWE here for a second. One of the things that I mentioned at the start of the show, Sancho, I feel tired. I feel like we are kind of chugging along to the Royal Rumble. I'm chugging. You're dugging. Hey-oh! Anyways, it just sort of feels like everyone is in what I've always called triple threat stance, which is just sort of waiting and reacting for the next possible move, for the next major storyline, because it feels like aside from like Cody and Kevin Owens, every storyline, every feud is just sort of on pause right now. And there's even what many people are just sort of calling filler feuds like Jey Uso and Gunther or Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. That just kind of tell you like, okay, they're just sort of trying to massage us until we get to the Royal Rumble, until we can start the road to WrestleMania. And this is what I've been calling pre-Rumble purgatory, where we can't really pull the trigger on anything because we have to wait until the Rumble for feuds to develop within the Rumble match, after the Rumble match, and in the subsequent episodes in the road to WrestleMania. But we are getting something interesting out of the pre-Rumble purgatory, which is the rise of Jacob Fatu, maybe to the main event, sir. What are your thoughts?
Dog, he's been main event. Day one. I'm excited to see what Jacob Fatu can do on the mic. You see it. He nails it every time. You're thinking that he can't get any better, and he does. And I think what makes Jacob Fatu so different, and it's the same thing with CM Punk when he torched everybody in the Rumble, was that it feels like he means what he says. And he says it with such from his chest that it scares you a little bit. And you feel like he don't care who it is. He's going to tell you what it's like. And I think Solo's going to be on the shelf for a bit. It's a great time to put Solo on the shelf. Let him marinate. Let people forget about Solo. And then let Solo come back in an impactful way. I don't like how... I don't know if I saw him. I think most of it on a commercial when Solo does his thing. because I feel that Solo. I don't know, man. I feel you know what? It's a blur to me sometimes when Netflix and SmackDown, because I feel like I miss so much on Netflix because all these happens on commercials. But when Solo disappeared and went off like a sad little panda, I feel that when Jacob steps up, he needs to be even more dangerous than Solo. We had Roman leave, Solo became dangerous with the help of Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. But now that Solo's gone, Jacob Fatu needs to be more ruthless, like extremely dangerous, so that someone has to stop him and regulate him and put him in his place. Is it LA Knight? I don't think so, but I'm happy that LA Knight has something to do that's beyond the title that could put him in other storylines. So I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm all in. I think Jacob Fatu is a much more solid bet than a Penta is, because Penta has a long way to go. But Jacob Fatu has given us so much different like moments of like greatness that it's a lock. It's like when you watch LeBron James, and when LeBron James came into the league, he dropped like 20. And you're like, all right, he's legit, right? Mm-hmm. He's going to be a star. Jacob Fatu is going to be a big star.
I think we've all known this for a long time. I feel like what the excitement is brewing in the air is about the fact that all of these stare down teases that we've been getting over the past year with Jacob Fatu, they're on the table now, brother. They're like actually there for us to be able to get and enjoy. And to me, this signals that we're going to probably get a Jacob Fatu WrestleMania feud, a WrestleMania match for Jacob Fatu, which is great. I would love for that to be a thing.
A non-bloodline feud, please.
I would love that. I would genuinely love that, because that's sort of one of the things, in my opinion, that kind of held Solo back from his initial takeover of the Bloodline, feeling legit and real, was his lack of personal feuds. He had the John Cena one, literally the only one, but they didn't follow it properly, right? Yeah, the one with the thumbs, Sancho. Yes, that one. You sound like a video game character taking damage.
Yeah, that's what I do. The chip damage.
Specifically like PS1 era. That's what that sounded like. I
did chess yesterday, brother. That was a bad choice.
Oh, good for you. Still going to the gym. Look at you. Good job. Good job. Yeah. Hey, getting bigger. Getting bigger. I'm
not doing bomb dust or anything, but I try.
You should, man. You should try it. Not Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa never really got to have a chance to take off on his own before he became the tribal chief. And if they're ever going to explore an idea of Jacob Fatu taking over as the tribal chief, or, starting his own version of the Bloodline, which I don't want to see, I could see it feeling more legit, especially if they actually do several months of Jacob Fatu being on his own, having these matches, having these stare downs. And I honestly believe that Braun Strowman is such a brilliant choice. Braun Strowman, went from one of my least favorites to one of my favorites over the last year alone. And he took a guy that was kind of on the precipice, sort of like how Jacob Fatu is in Bronson Reed, and made him undeniable, made him into a star, made him into a guy that if Bronson Reed during that run, if he had won the World Heavyweight Championship, everybody would have been okay with it. It's like, yep, justified, makes sense. They really built this guy properly. And that was really not just off the back of the great work of Bronson Reed himself, but off the back of Braun Strowman. And if Braun Strowman can help catapult Jacob Fatu like he did with Bronson Reed, I see nothing but W's in the future here for all of us.
I think what they're going to do, what it feels like what they're going to do, is they decided to...
What you going to do, brother? What you going to do?
I think what they decided was whatever they had plans for Bronson Reed, they're going to give to Jacob Fatu. And the main difference is that Jacob Fatu could cut a mean promo. And Bronson Reed's not there yet.
He's good on Twitter.
And he's great on Twitter now, dude. The heinous things that Bronson posts.
He pushes the line, I'm going to bust.
Come Tuesday. But it's kind of crazy to see that Jacob Fatu's, I think he's being fast-tracked because of the Bronson Reed injury, and he's being fast-tracked because either, like I said, they're going to put Solo on the shelf, or they just need a heel. I'm just hoping that Jacob Fatu denounces the Bloodline, but he just loves Solo so much. I want him just to do other things, man. Like we mentioned, because the issue with WWE is the corner that they painted themselves into is a bloodline corner. It's so good. It's a delicious piece of pie. It's a delicious cake. You can't eat it every day. I can't have every Mania main evented by the bloodline. As much as I would love it, it's fun. I'll get tired of it and I'll get sour of it. If every major PLE had a bloodline, if everything that involved The Rock needed to be the main event, even though he didn't do anything like that, that's the kind of stuff that would get me sour. And you know what? Who would suffer for? Why are you making this face? That's not the face that Rock makes.
Is that not the people's face?
No, at all. No, it should be an emote. But like that's the thing. I think if they continue down a bloodline path, the people that we will turn sour on wouldn't be The Rock, wouldn't be Roman. It would be the Jacob Fatu Solo and the Tongans, right? And the Tongans. That would be the people who would be like, ugh. And where's Hikuleo, by the way?
I don't know, but I feel like with Tonga Loa being gone, with Solo stepping away, that could be the place where you insert him. And now it would be Hikuleo, Jacob, and Tama Tonga running around.
See, I don't want that. It feels weird. It reminds me when like Judgment Day broken up, it just kept getting diluted.
I know, but Hikuleo debuting not in a bloodline related thing, I feel like it signals disaster for his WWE career. Because that's what everybody's expecting.
Then? Put him in NXT then.
Fair. If they put him on NXT, that's different story altogether. But if it's like
Obafemi Obafemi Hikuleo. Ooh.
I wouldn't mind that. That'd be kind of sick.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. Where does Solo go?
Solo. I feel like we're gonna get Solo in the road to WrestleMania. I bet he's not in the Rumble.
Wow.
Nah. I bet you that Jacob and Tama Tonga are in the Rumble, but I bet you that Solo is not.
Jacob Fatu is getting that, like I said, he's getting the Rumble.
He's getting all of his face-offs. We're gonna get so many teases in that.
He's gonna clear out at least 10 people at the Rumble.
Oh man, it's gonna be great. Who do you want him to stare off with at the Rumble? Like, what's like the dream stare down for you for Jacob Fatu?
John Cena.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
Just for that second. And then John's going to just do his thing. And he's going to go, you can't see me. And then Jacob Fatu's going to go, bam! Just like Doomsday and Superman. You're like, oh my God. Oh no, John. Ooh.
What about Jacob and Dominic Mysterio?
Dog, I like Dom. I hate what they're doing with Dom, dude. I love his stash still. And I love that he's trying to take over Judgment Day. And he's like moving the pieces around. He has ideas. But, man, they had something there when he was going up against Gunther, dude. I'd rather have Gunther and Dom going into Saturday Night Main Event than Jey Uso, that's for sure.
That'd be fun.
Because then we know it's a filler. Then we know we're supposed to have fun. There's still in my back of my mind that Jey Uso may win. And I hate that. I hate that feeling.
I know.
That Jey Uso may win, where I'd rather have this feeling of Dom may become a face for the night type of vibe, and that's fun.
You know what the problem that I have with with Jey Uso versus Gunther going into Saturday night's main event is just that it feels too early. And we're going to talk in a separate predictions video about Saturday night's main event. But if you were telling me that Jey Uso and Gunther is happening at, say, SummerSlam, I'd be like, hell yeah, pull the trigger. Let's give us main event Jey. Give him the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, I of course want Jey to be successful and win world gold, but I don't want him to be Gunther here. It's too early. Plus, we finally are getting the Gunther that we all signed up for, right? The good ring general, Jey, you're a good tag team wrestler, Jey. That's the Gunther that we want. We finally got him back after he was the Gunther. I'm sad Gunther. We're done with that, but now that we've got the Gunther that we signed up for, when they said, you want to sign up for this newsletter? This is the newsletter I signed up for. We're getting it. And I don't want Gunther to lose yet, but I'm on your camp where I feel like there's like a 10% chance that Jey actually wins this.
And that's what I say. It bothers me. I don't want it. I mean, do you think that the Saturday night main event needs a ratings boost to put Jey to say like, hey, anything that happened, why would they sacrifice Gunther? I think it's more of a situation of why are they putting Jey in this situation, right? Where are we going to go? Maybe this is where Hikuleo shows up. The continuation of the bloodlines.
That'd be interesting if he takes out Jey.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it'd be annoying, but that's what Jey Uso does. I used to say HMO, but that's not the term of phrase. It's MO. What's it? Method of operandi? I used to say method of operation.
Mendus operandi. I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm gonna Google it. It's a law school thing, so I should know this.
You seem like a guy that kind of tried to go into law school.
I got in.
You did?
Yeah, I wrote my LSATs like 3 times. I got into several law schools. I just never went.
Wow.
Yeah. I was already working. I couldn't afford going. So every year I would get in. I'd be like, I still can't afford to go. Get in, still can't afford to go. And then by the time I was like, okay, I actually can afford to go. I'm like, oh, I'm like high enough in this company where I probably should just stay here.
Yeah, well, why don't you go now?
Because I'm doing this, brother. I'm living the dream. I'm podcasting with Sancho West. But yeah, no, yeah. I got into several law schools. I just never ended up going.
So were you correct in your?
Yeah, MO? It was Manda operandi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a theater major, so I'm just dumb.
You're just stupid, but you're funny.
Thank you. Okay, more Royal Rumble purgatory. Yeah. I want to point this out before we get to CM Punk's torching everybody. The WWE is doing a poor job once again for the Women's Royal Rumble. Terrible job.
Terrible.
They're not doing the same thing of build-up. They're not having their superstars. They only just started with Bayley saying that she's in the Royal Rumble. No one else right now has.
Nia Jax is in. Nia Jax is also
sure. In. Nia Jax is in, but it doesn't feel as prestigious because you literally had Rey Mysterio. I just want to let you know, I'm in the Royal Rumble 2025, and I'm gonna win.
Yeah, the Women's Rumble.
Oh, that Eddie.
Oh, that Eddie. The Women's Rumble is weird. Like, why have Nia Jax declare herself, be the first one to declare yourself for the Rumble? That's usually like a big deal, right? I'm the first one declaring for the Rumble. And then you give her a championship match the week before.
Same thing with Jay. They did it with Jay.
Same thing with Jay. It's weird. Saturday night's main event feels weird this time around. But listen, I feel like they're going for different themes between the men's and the women's Rumble.
Yes.
The Women's Rumble, of course, on face value, if you look at how it's been booked over the last several weeks, it does not have the tender love and care that the men's has. The thing is that with the Men's Rumble, I feel like they're going for the theme of this is the most stacked Rumble of all time. And for us to be able to say it's the most stacked Rumble of all time, we need to tell you who's in it so that you know this is the most stacked Rumble of all time. I think that for the women, the theme is different. I feel like for the Women's Rumble, it's the theme of surprises. I feel like we're going to get a ton of returns from injuries. Dude, you would be shook when you saw how many women are actually out with injury right now on the main roster, and big ones too, or out with out from hiatus. Alexa Bliss. We have, of course, Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch doesn't count as an injury, but she's gonna probably be coming back. Asuka. We have Carmella is a possibility. Jade Cargill. I feel like the Women's Rumble, they're purposely not giving it the shine in announcing these names because they want the names to be surprises. I feel like that's going to be the theme of the Women's Rumble. And the last 2 Women's Rumble have been better than the men's, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is the case again this year, honestly.
But the thing about it is they're still not giving... I'm still coming off the back of Bayley's treatment after winning the Rumble last year.
Fair.
Where it just went dark.
It wasn't good. It was bad.
And no one cared. In terms of the WWE side, they didn't pick who's she going to go after. I mean, they had something with EO, right? And Bayley, and it just didn't give that big pomp and circumstance because we were all caring about Cody finishing the story. And even Bayley wasn't on the poster for a long time. I mean, she wasn't even on trucks. That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. They have to give more prestige to the Women's Royal Rumble. If we, the talking heads, say it was better than the men's 2 years in a row, then we need the WWE know that. The WWE needs to express that, how epic it was and how Liv Morgan needs to be out there saying, I made a comeback and I almost did it. Jade Cargill needs to talk about how she made a debut. But if they're going to reserve it for surprises, I think that it could mess up, man. It's like there's not enough people there to sit and enjoy it because there's no talk about it. It's going to be one of those things that slowly rolls into a fever pitch from the first entrant all the way to the last one. And typically that's what a Royal Rumble is, right? You get that who's going to come back, who's going to appear, but you only get 1 or 2 of those per Royal Rumble. You're talking about 6 or 7 entrants going to make a comeback. And let's not forget the Royal Rumbles of the women in the past. You've had like big, huge, old school stars, legends make a comeback.
Don't think you can do that anymore. I just don't think that you. In the initial women's rumbles, there were so many legends that came back because they needed to pad out the numbers. I don't feel like you can do that anymore. I feel for both the men's and the women's. I don't think that you can justify those types of spots. I mean, I say that, but then also last year they wasted a spot on Pat McAfee. So they're still, but they're getting better at not wasting spots on people that that aren't really part of the WWE environment.
You say so, but it comes and goes. You have a year where they just waste a spot.
Yeah, they did last year, like I said, with Pat McAfee.
Oh, I hated that.
I did too.
Okay, now what would be? I guess right now, who would win the women's Royal Rumble? Because the men, I feel like it's a crapshoot right now.
I think
it's like if you're a betting man, you can't bet on the men's Royal Rumble.
It's impossible. It's impossible. Too many variables.
Women's, you can kind of get an idea.
I think it's Io or Jade Cargill. I think
Jade is a perfect pick, though.
I think they're both perfect picks. Jade Cargill is really fascinating because she isn't actually injured, but they're keeping her on ice, and I feel like they're keeping her on ice for this big return at the Rumble. Brother, if she returns at the Rumble, I can't see her not winning. Like, legit. I can't see her not winning. If her music hits at the Rumble, I'm confident that she's going to win.
There's a storm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the rest.
The storm is coming. I'm pretty sure that's all it is. And then
it's not brewing.
A storm is. Oh no! Is it brewing or coming? I don't know. But am
I brewing or coming? I don't know what's going on here.
The worst thing to say if you work at a brewery, which
yes.
Anyways, the one thing that makes me believe that Jade Cargill is more of a favorite than Io Sky is the fact that Jade Cargill has a ready-made storyline that could go into WrestleMania, right? The Who Attacked Jade Cargill could develop into a WrestleMania match and feud. Io Sky doesn't have that. You would have to manufacture something from the ground up. You might just need to rely on, hey, Io Sky won. We might not even need a story. We just want an awesome match between Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. That might be the route that you go. But there is a major story at play that so many of us are still waiting for the reveal, the big plot twist in that Who Attacked Jade Cargill. And that looming over us is what is leading me to believe that Jade Cargill, if she's in the Rumble, she's winning the damn thing.
She'd have to be late. She has to be like 27 up. She can't come out early because her pop is not going to last that long. You know what I mean? Like if she comes out at 3. Like I mean, you could see her coming out and literally confronting Naomi right out the gate, revealing the answer, who hurt her. You know, and Naomi's like freaked out. Like that could be the instance. I predict Jordynne Grace is going to have a strong spot. I don't know if it's a Rick Booth type of situation where she has like 4 people stacked or 3 people stacked on her, but she could easily have 2 or 3 women stacked on her and just toss them and get that moment like, oh my God, she's legit. Like I think that's what you need for Jordynne Grace, because we talked about at the beginning of this podcast, Royal Rumbles is a launch point, and the WWE, we've been for a couple weeks being like, what's going on in the women's division? And I think we're going to get some great storylines. Jordynne Grace is going to be inserted. I think Lyra Valkyria is going to have a feud coming out of this, which she desperately needs. And Chelsea Green and Michin, that feud's going to keep going in this Rumble. I'm hoping we get something with the at least Bianca Belair, a tag team feud going forward. I still think that Bianca Belair, no one's talking about Bianca Belair's literally wasting years of her life in the tag team division. They need to get off that. It needs to happen sooner than later.
You know what, though? It's worked for me. It's worked for me keeping Bianca on ice for a bit. I see the light with Bianca Belair now. I'm excited for a Bianca Belair return to the main event scene. I actually am.
You're hoping that will be the case if Jade Cargill can deliver. But I'm saying that Bianca Belair on her own can deliver.
Of course, sure.
Like it's like they're building up Nia, but dude, imagine if it was Bianca Belair or something like challenging Rhea or even Liv when she had the title, just something like that, man. Because why is Bianca Belair finding so much value out of the tag team division? That's where I gotta find out, because there is no big like brewing or like a developing tag team that they need to add shine to. That person was Jade, right? They were adding this and they took her off the table to continue to build her up, because what is it? If it's unseen, it builds up bigger, like the monster, like in Jaws. We don't see the shark; it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think the biggest victim of all that is Bianca Belair, man. It's like that she was that main event of Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair Mania, dude. That's what I miss, and I think that Bianca Belair hopefully returns to that level at this Rumble. That's what I want. I want people to remember how awesome she is, because we saw that moment where she literally gorilla pressed, I forgot who it was, with Jade Cargill on the other side, the gorilla pressed the people. But yeah, man, they need. This is an important Royal Rumble for the women more so than the men, because the men, you said it, it's an all-star event. It is the NBA All-Star. It's the Pro Bowl. It's literally everybody. And I'm telling you right now,
including Rey Mysterio, he's declared for the Rumble. Oh, that Eddie. In 2006, when I did it for my friend Eddie Guerrero, Viva la raza.
Dude, someone wrote in your comments about when he was in a pile driver, and then Kevin put me in a pile driver between his legs, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna see Eddie. So good, dude. Oh my god,
dude! These Ray impressions. I'm glad that they're starting to take off with the community.
Yeah,
it's the new brain rot.
It is the new brain rot. Because when he came out on SmackDown. And I was like, oh my God, they're just feeding us. They're just giving us more stuff.
More material.
More material. I hate to tell you this, brother. Goldberg's going to be there.
I think Goldberg's in the Rumble. Yeah, I could see Goldberg being in the Rumble.
And adds more to the prestige.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine. He's not winning. All right. Before you start to manifest that into the universe, because I know Goldberg's your favorite. You know, he's your favorite. Your second favorite is, of course, Bret Hart.
Who, like, dude, you got to have Goldberg out there, and you got to have Gunther screwing over Goldberg.
Yeah, sure. Stop trying to make Goldberg and Gunther a thing. Stop. Stop it. Stop it, Sancho.
Will you be mad at me if it does happen? Like,
yes, I will literally blame you exclusively for making this happen. I will honestly put all of the blame on you if we get Gunther versus Goldberg at WrestleMania or Elimination Chamber or any show. You, I want you.
Oh, dude, I'm hoping we get like a Batista level return though. Someone has to come back. Blutista style. I don't know who, but man, I feel like it's sometimes when
The Rock
says, remember that song?
Yeah. The Rock says,
know your damn role.
Yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one from the early video games.
It's like waka chicka chicka.
Yeah. Thank you for the rendition.
You're welcome.
You were talking about Bianca and getting her back to the main event scene. You know who is like on their way down though? Bayley. What is going on there? Losing to Tiffany Stratton. Dude, okay. So in my Raw review, which you can find available exclusively on Patreon, I said that the WWE unnecessarily put themselves in a lose-lose situation by booking Bayley versus Nia Jax. It made no sense whatsoever. Listen, okay? Let me explain my layers of thinking here. You booked Nia Jax versus Bayley. I don't even think that you needed Nia Jax having a match, let alone against Bayley. And you had Nia Jax win because she had to win, because she's your next opponent for Rhea Ripley. She has to win. But the reason you have her win is so that she looks more of like a monster going into the match against Rhea Ripley. You didn't need this because you already had Nia Jax attack Rhea Ripley. That was enough. That was enough. Like, okay, cool. Saturday night's main event, that's it. But then you put her up in a match against Bayley, who's the new shiny toy of Monday Night Raw. And her debut on Monday Night Raw is against somebody that she's already had a bunch of matches with from Friday Night SmackDown, instead of having a match against somebody from Monday Night Raw that rarely gets screen time. Look, I would have been down for Bayley versus Ivy Nile. why not? Sure, have Bayley win that. She's the new big veteran on Monday Night Raw. Have her start off strong. Or maybe if you wanted to end the match in shenanigans, in disqualification, because you could have, because you had Roxanne Perez there, you could have booked a bigger match. You could have done Bayley, Liv Morgan. That would have been huge. We haven't seen that in forever. But why are we booking Bayley's re-debut appearance on Monday Night Raw as a new member of Monday Night Raw in a match against somebody from SmackDown that she's been having matches with constantly over the last 6 months, and then you have her lose? Well, you have her lose because you had to have her lose because you put her against Nia in the first place. The solution was just to have to book Nia versus Bayley. That made no sense whatsoever.
You said it, man.
Okay, all right. Glad we're in agreement.
You said it, man. I think Bayley's in not necessarily trouble, but I think like a refresh in some sort of way, a gimmick change or something. Because I feel like she's all of a sudden cool with Michael Cole, and that's weird. I know she had a promo once in a commercial calling him a dummy, but Michael Cole's cool with her. So it's like, what are they going to do with Bayley? And I think like then Bayley had the best momentum out of Rumble, and she had the idea of winning back her damage control and all that kind of thing, getting revenge, and they didn't do anything with it. I mean, you said so yourself. We watched it in Match Club. Banger match at Mania, one of the best women matches on the card of maybe the year. Nothing happens after that. And Io Sky gets treated better after Bayley, and the Dakota Kai is having a better like a trajectory than Bayley. I don't know, man. Bayley's one of those wrestlers that sometimes if I get a lot of Bayley, I get annoyed. But then when there's a lack of Bayley, I get frustrated. If that makes sense?
Sure.
Like I think Bayley needs the perfect mix. I don't know if it's I feel like when she had the title, it was a transitional title for the title at that time. So I don't know what the WWE can do with Bayley, but it should not be eating random clean pins like that.
It was just bizarre. It felt like an unnecessary shot in their own leg, Like there's just so many people she could have had. Like I at least I can't think of the last time, if it ever happened, Ivy Nile versus Bayley. I would have been excited for that. And that would have been great for Ivy Nile. And it doesn't hurt Ivy Nile to lose to Bayley, like at all. I don't know. I feel like they made an odd decision. Sticking with that Monday Night Raw, they got Kevin Owens on Raw. Can I tell you something, Sancho? I love this. I love the segment with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn because it did a couple of things for me. It made me resonate with Kevin Owens even more that he's right about Cody Rhodes, because what that segment told me was that Kevin Owens isn't a fully unhinged, delusional, twirl your mustache heel. Because the things that he laid out to Sami Zayn, I was like, bro, that's like real. He said, listen, like, I don't fault you like I fault Cody for teaming up with Roman. When you think about it, why would Cody ever team up with Roman? This is a guy that was tortured by Roman, beaten by Roman. The Rock left him bloodied anime style in the ring. He has no reason at all to team up with Roman Reigns. I buy that. But then when you juxtapose and you see what Kevin Owens said about Sami Zayn, he's like, no, I don't hate you for going back to Roman. I get it. You have history with him. You're friends with him. You are family with him. And this is the type of person that you are. You forgave Roman, and that doesn't surprise me because you forgave me when I did all of these terrible things to you. And you made me your friend once again. So I understand. I'm not surprised, and I get why you helped Roman. And when he laid it out like that, I was like, yeah, I get, yeah, like there is logic in the reasoning of Kevin Owens there, which makes me believe even harder that Kevin Owens is right about Cody Rhodes when he paints it out like that. I also loved in the world of psychology what is called emotional blackmail, Sancho, where he said, I'm rooting for you at the Royal Rumble, and I know that you're going to win the Royal Rumble because I'm going to have your back. And then when you win the Royal Rumble, we're going to face each other off at WrestleMania because I know that I'm going to win the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble because I know that just like you had Roman's back, you're going to have my back too. Textbook emotional blackmail, Sancho.
What you're forgetting about the best line is like, we have a dream of main eventing the WrestleMania for this belt. Mm-hmm. Like that's always been our dream. But you have to feel like you said he's not a twirly mustache heel. He's more like a James Bond villain, man. Mm-hmm. Like a Daniel Craig James Bond villain, where it's like deeper. It's like oh man, what's his name in Mission Impossible?
You expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die.
I'm trying to think of there's a Mission Impossible villain that He is so good. And anyway, the point I want to make is I think that when Kevin Owens, Philip Seymour Hoffman in Mission Impossible, he's like a very cerebral.
Yes.
I think what Kevin Owens is strength is just being so logical. It's the Drew McIntyre play. He's just making sure that you're speaking with clear logic to everybody else, so we go, oh, wait a minute, he's right. And at the same time, it's diabolical because, like you mentioned, the emotional blackmailing. I'm hoping that I enjoyed that they weren't fighting on site, because it's annoying to see Cody and Kevin Owens fight on site because there's no artistry
or anyone that looks like Kevin Owens.
I wish Cody would fight someone like look like Kevin Owens right out of nowhere. And I love the internet memes of people that look like Kevin Owens. Like, oh,
have you seen that? Have you seen that video of the guy that looks a lot like Kevin Owens CCTV footage, and then a car just comes in through the 7-Eleven and almost hits him, and people putting like adrenaline in your soul into that clip is great.
That is what I fear. I don't enjoy that, but I do enjoy nuance. I do enjoy these conversations. I do like that Kevin Owens has the ability to dress down the pompous attitude of Sami Zayn to get off his high horse and drag him off of it. And I like that they are using this notion of their history. And it's for like, if you're a casual fan walking into Netflix, you're just like, what is their history? And I'm hoping that the WWE goes into that further to build this up before we get to Royal Rumble. I think that's their job now, is to like show El Generico, wait, maybe aren't they related, Sami Zayn and El Generico? I don't know.
They're good friends.
They're good friends. That's for like, show those Kevin Steen type of things. Show how they grew up. Like, I know they've done that before, but they always shown it with like, oh, here's a picture of the Indian. Now they're fighting. Like, it's always been about the violence, or they've been the butting heads. This is different. This is like, bro, this is your brother, and not in blood, but in bond. What you gonna do, Sammy, when you get to the Rumble, when Kevin Owens, because you know what's gonna happen, right? Kevin Owens is gonna help him. He's going to throw somebody out. He's going to maybe not do the Otis thing and Mandy Rose type of thing. He's going to find a way to keep him in the Rumble, or maybe hurt someone backstage. That's going to be a threat to Sammy. Like, there's so many things that he can do to make Sammy, because I think Sammy's at his best when he has conflicting choices to make. When he's standing in the ring, he's like, do I haluva kick this person or haluva kick that person? That was such the big part of Sami Zayn. Will I or will I not turn on Roman? Like, that was so fun. And I'm hoping we get a little bit of that going into the Rumble for Sami Zayn, who he has declared himself, I am in the Rumble. I'm going to go in the Rumble and I'm going to win.
Because, damn it, I am a main eventer.
Are you muted?
No.
Oh, you're just talking so loud.
My end caught it. The listeners heard it. But hey, you mentioned, hey, who am I going to haluva kick? Sometimes he just haluva kicks somebody by accident. He did with Seth Rollins. I love
with
that
Roman.
ending. Yeah. What? Oh, yeah, he did it with Roman. Yeah. I love that ending of Monday Night Raw, because even though Drew McIntyre lost, he won. Because the narrative of Drew McIntyre, if you really watch the match, he was like yelling at Seth the entire time. Why can't you see things the way I see them? We're supposed to be on the same team. You're so selfish. And then the haluva kick happens. Even though he's already lost, camera pans to Drew McIntyre. He's smiling because he knows he's won. That right there, Sancho, is the catalyst for Seth Rollins to see and align himself with Drew McIntyre.
It was more of a accidental, like, oh, wait a minute. But yeah, that's another one of those guys that I think the WWE needs to stop saying transfer portal stuff, because it sets expectations for us that never materialize, and we get annoyed with it.
I'm already annoyed by it. I'm already annoyed by it.
It's our fault, because we're like, we start speculating, and Drew McIntyre is going to go to SmackDown, and then, oh, look, so-and-so's wearing red. And then here we are, like the draft, we look so stupid. And
then you bring somebody over, and then you have them lose like Bailey. What I don't know, man. It's been weird. It's been weird.
Yes. But I think like what's been weird, like we talked about, and I think it's just everything's from the Royal Rumble. I kind of have I don't know how long you want to talk about Kevin Owens and Sammy, but I think Penta, second debut, solid. Love the Mexican firework pyro. Fun times. I wish the flames were old. First flames were better. The little wave flames, not so much. It was a little bit of a downgrade.
Sure.
Those were sick. Like,
yeah, but that's the spiral. Come on, that was sick.
Yeah, the spiral's sick, dude. That's like a traditional Mexican thing. I like these exhibition matches. Typically, you would get the local talent, the enhancement talent like this for Penta anyway. I think Pete Dunne got a little bit of a good bump from rolling with Penta, and I think it reminded us how bad Penta is. But it's interesting that Pink Dunne is the perfect person to go against Penta because of his finger taunt and then the finger manipulation. It's like the perfect yin and yang. I'm just hoping that at Rumble, we need to get a Penta feud going. It needs to happen because people are expecting a different Penta, and already his wrestling style has changed. You could see it because he's going to do the same spots. In AEW, his spots go randomly in different places, but WWE, you keep the spots the same, right? He's going to do that dive out of the ring, right? He's going to do the shoulder thing. He's going to do
it's going to be always super kick into Mexican Destroyer and to dive out of the ring. We literally saw the same thing, the exact same sequence. That's his 5 moves of doom.
Right. And that's the WWE style. It keeps everybody safe, makes sure everyone knows what they're doing. Occasionally, I think in Penta's world, at a PLE, he's going to pull something out of the hat, like a Jeff Hardy type of situation, right? That's where he's going to sell it. My fear,
Your fear for the guy with no fear?
My fear, and I know I'm way ahead of this, but this is what podcasts are, right? This is what we're supposed to do, is that I think that if you don't give this man a story or a feud to latch onto, he's just going to have these exhibition, watered down AEW type of matches, which people would slowly not sour on, but they're going to be like, where's the Penta that had the fire and the soul after that promo? We need to have that fire ejected into somewhere now quickly versus being like a Sheamus, because that's what Sheamus is right now, right? This guy who has banger after banger, and it doesn't go anywhere until Sheamus wins the title, IC title. So I'm just saying, as someone that's watched Penta in AEW, who knows what he's capable of, and know that he's been throttled down for the WWE product, which is still great, give this man a feud. And it is Ray, definitely, but Royal Rumble needs to save Penta, because Penta's he's gonna hit a plateau sooner than later without the Royal Rumble.
Sure. I feel like I'm fine without him having a feud until after Rumble. Like, that's fine. Like, just being match of the night. But yeah, like, once it's like the road to WrestleMania, let's come up with something, because we know what happens to luchadors if they don't get over, if they don't have anything interesting. Right down to the LWO you go. That's what happened to Dragon Lee. And I don't want that. We don't want Sue tu bandera si tu eres Latino. I don't want that, bro. I don't want Penta going out there being... I want Penta's walk the whole time. I want to... I don't want any of that, man. But yeah, I'm with you. But I'm kind of fine with Penta's role right now, which is just get the people out of their seats. And let's be honest, like, Penta will be on a... I feel like Penta for a long time will probably play this role as he sort of just treads water until Rey Fénix shows up. I feel like that's what they're waiting for, right? And like, I don't see Penta like winning mid-card belts or anything like that. I just want Penta to have great matches, interesting storylines. Like, it doesn't have to be anything like super over the top, but like, what I want is for them to keep Penta front of mind, in front of us, until Rey Fénix shows up.
I think what we need to see is some heel to try to step up to. I know we have it. I think we're going to get it with Chad Gable. Because remember, Chad Gable was like, "Hey,
I love this little side mission that he's on. He's trying to find the wizard, right? He's trying to find the buffs and the upgrades to be able to take on luchadors."
I don't mind that. I think that's a great filler feud, right? Yeah. And I love that Dominic Mysterio, for some reason, is the guy you go to. He has a name, which people are speculating it's Malachi. So that's going to be Aleister Black. Why not?
No. It doesn't make... Okay, look. They mentioned something about like the darkness. I can't remember the dark arts. I do feel like
school,
yes,
right?
that is. I feel like that is absolutely a hint towards Aleister Black, but I don't think it's saying that it's Aleister Black, because when CM Punk showed up, they were doing a lot of this, a lot of hints, a lot of references. Your hands just aren't long enough to box with God, a quote that Corey Graves said a couple of weeks before Punk showed up, talking about. They did a lot of Punk isms into the lead up of the return of Punk. I could see this being an Aleister Black ism, and hinting at his return. But Aleister Black is
like a little wink, wink.
Yes, but I feel like we're gonna see it from other characters. I don't think he's the shaman of luchadors. Brother, I'm sorry to disappoint you. It's just Santos Escobar. No. It's just Santos.
What if it's Selena?
That'd be cool. Yeah, but
Zelina's part of the school too.
yeah, sure. It could be Zelina, sure.
But anyway, back to Penta. I think Penta is like you said, match of the night. Have you ever seen La Parka versus Goldberg?
No.
Oh my God, Santi. La Parka, the chairman, versus Goldberg is a match we should have on Match Club because it's a very short match. Of course, it's Goldberg. But brother, that was like I'm hoping one day. I'm not saying like Penta's gonna get squashed like that, but Parker is one of those guys that you tuned in for because he was so charismatic in WCW days. He would come out with a chair and do his thing, and I would love to watch Penta in that kind of way until he gets a main event feud. Is Penta main event right now for you?
No, they need to do the thing of making him the main event. Like I think
it feels like he's.
I feel like he can have a main event, but I don't think he's going to be like main eventing Mania or anything like that. I don't think he's going to be winning WWE championships. But if you told me, hey, the main event of Monday Night Raw a little bit down the line is going to be Braun Breaker versus Penta, shit yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's run that. Why not? But the thing is that I will always have the impending arrival of Rey Fenix in the back of my mind.
What's wild to me is I hope they don't use Penta as a way to build Mexico, as to build that whatever that backlash PLE that might or might not happen in Mexico. I don't want Penta to be a WWE Nakamura where we're going to tour Japan, go send Nakamura out there. Like, I don't want that for Penta. I don't want Penta just to be used as a mascot for WWE when he goes to the Mexico with Rey. Like,
but they did it successfully really well with Damian Priest.
Right?
I was going to say with Damian Priest as the build up to Backlash Puerto Rico. They did that really well.
Which I have full confidence that they will do that for Penta Backlash for sure. But I'm saying Penta's potential is much more than that. We are knocking on the door of being the next great luchador like a Rey Mysterio that could transcend time. Dude, Rey Mysterio's 50 years old and he's almost doing the exact same things he's been doing for years and delivers night in and night out. The dude could have a match with Kevin Owens and have a banger of a match at any moment. And I think that's what Penta is striving for. Now you say Rey Fenix, his brother, then they could be one of the best tag teams that they've ever had on the WWE roster. So,
I have a problem,
I think
I have a
good
problem.
Yes, great problem to have.
I have a bad problem though. Like they are culturally
see a doctor then.
They're culturally appropriating my Canadian Destroyer. As a Canadian, all right, it is the Canadian Destroyer. It's they're trying to take things away from us. They're trying to take our countryhood. They're trying to make us the 51st state. All right, we're losing everything here in Canada. The one thing that we had, the 1 ounce of patriotism, was the Canadian Destroyer, and they're taking it away from us.
You sound like Bret Hart when he's losing the sharpshooter. How dare you use a sharpshooter?
Instead of they're sending the jobs to Mexico, they're sending the Canadian Destroyers to Mexico.
And we'll do it better. What can I say?
Dude, Penta's Canadian Destroyer is nice. It's nice. It's a nice Canadian Destroyer.
Mexican Destroyer.
Yeah, the Mexican Destroyer. Let's some extra bonus. Oh, you wanted to talk about CM Punk torching the Rumble. I want to you talk about that.
Dude, CM Punk, like I mentioned, I've been a fan that missed out on CM Punk's era, CM Punk in his prime. It is so eye-opening to see someone just work beyond everybody. You know, you get everybody, they do their promos, they cut their vignettes, and then all of a sudden CM Punk shows up and he just commands the camera, commands the scene, commands the arena, and he just torches every single person that's entered the Rumble. Oh, Roman, you're in the Rumble? You needed my help and War Games. Oh, I don't care if it's Hulk Hogan. I'll throw his dusty ass over the ropes. Like, dude, like that's what the wrestling is missing these days, is a personality that can just torch everybody and still stand tall and be respected. Like John Cena, I could see you. You can't, like, when John Cena and CM Punk trade promos again, we're gonna be feasting, brother.
Man, I really believe in my heart of hearts that we need Cena next week. Him not being in this build up to the Rumble is hurting not the Rumble, but I feel like it's hurting his stock going into the Rumble when it's such a stacked Rumble. I feel like the name of John Cena should carry more weight going into this Rumble, and I just don't think that it is. And I remember the last year, the go home promo was Cody Rhodes and CM Punk right before the Rumble. I would love the go home promo to be Cena and CM Punk. That would be fire.
Oh, wait. How about we put everybody that's in the Rumble in the ring with all microphones, or maybe put them on ladders, standing on top of the ladders.
Stop it.
Cutting promos, because that's for but no, dude, I think CM Punk just adds so much value, and he just knows that he could do anything and say anything. He's untouchable, and I think that makes him very dangerous in a good way. And it makes him watch TV, because now I'm like, what is CM Punk going to say? I think CM Punk live is so much better than us recorded
live
vignette.
and in color
on a Monday. What any better place to be live on a Monday night?
Night.
But yeah, I think CM Punk it convinces me that the more and more I see him, I know his in-ring's not there, right? It's kind of a shell of itself. And he's not as dominating presence in-ring, but his promos and his outer ring is on a next level. And I'm hoping that we get more and more of that with John Cena, because I feel that's what's missing right now in WWE is the generational Rock talent, because Roman's only around so much. And when Roman does his thing, you're like, yes, dude, you're so different. Because Cody's around all the time, and sometimes Cody has to do the WWE job thing, right? He has to be the corporate WWE guy. You don't get those moments from Cody a lot. But when Cody does get there and he hits a promo like he does against Kevin Owens, you're like, oh, yes, generational talent. And I think that's where WWE shines in right now, is they have these toys, they have these tools that's generational that they could just dish out at any moment. And then when you're adding John Cena to that, you're like, oh, man, the build-up to WrestleMania is going to be insane.
I agree.
Do you feel like, I mean, I know AEW has generational talent, but I feel that their storylines sometimes don't have a sense of like a clear direction, and it's hard for me to latch onto that, because I know Moxley wants to be that, right? I know Moxley cuts these crazy Death Rider promos, and they're very intricate, almost Bray Wyatt-esque, and I would dare say sometimes Bray Wyatt promos tend to that way, where they're like, this is a great promo, but where are you going with this? Uncle Howdy, this is a great promo, but where are you going with that? And I feel that AEW is close to there, and MJF was that guy where he would cut a generational promo and he would say things that were like on the edge of dangerous, and he would say something about Triple H or Cody at that time. But I just felt like right now I don't see that happening, with AEW, where there is that must-see generational guy that's going to come out and cut the perfect promo and get me excited for a match on their pay-per-view. Because you know who that was? That was Bryan Danielson, and he's gone. He's not around.
I mean, it can be MJF. It just sort of feels like they've got MJF doing side quests, like right now with Jeff Jarrett, of all people, who's in his, I guess, kind of like final swan song. And I think it's really cool that AEW is going to give Jeff Jarrett a cool send-off and a cool feud and a cool match with MJF. But it does mean that like generational talent that you're talking about in MJF isn't taking strides forward, because he's doing what we call in the gaming world side quests. He's not progressing the main story, the main plot. He's not getting closer to rolling credits and becoming a legend because he's doing these side things. But I feel like those side things are important. But that's what it feels like right now with AEW, and their most marketable guy, MJF, not being at the forefront of the company at the moment, I do think is hurting them, but I think he's going to be there as soon as he's done this feud with JEFF Jarrett.
You say Jay, and that reminds me of JBL. What the hell did JBL do on Monday Night Raw?
Bro, nothing.
Was he just there for the Cowboys?
I think so. I think so. Like the fact that he didn't even come out as Walker, Texas Ranger, that we've been seeing in GCW and TNA. Like that's the JBL I was hoping we would get, but we just...
Me too.
We got the JBL that we already kind of knew. So it was pretty... I mean, it was... Yeah. It was pretty vanilla. That's what I'm saying. But like, it was fine. It didn't take anything away from it. But the way it was advertised, I was maybe expecting a tiny bit more. That's all.
I know, a little bit more. Hey, shout outs to GCW. We got to give a special shout out right now, because we're near the end of the podcast. We're going to do a prediction podcast, so we're going to do a second one, so don't worry. Invincible. Woo! Dude, I'm kind of like bummed that I missed out on the GCW because I was like watching at the Hammerstein Ball. And all of a sudden, you got Matt Cardona, and then all of a sudden, you see the guy, and I knew exactly who it was.
Of course, the ones that knew as soon as you heard the song. It's like the crowd was like, "Who is this? We don't know." But like the ones that knew, they knew that once they heard Invincible, it was Invincible, Tommy Invincible. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, dude. Just what blows my mind, and I'm hoping he does this for an edit. And I know he's a fan of our podcast, and I appreciate him because every now and then he DMs me some stuff, and he's like, "I appreciate you giving me some love." I hope that he juxtapositions his intros and his entrances at high school gyms and bingo halls into the Hammerstein Ball.
The progressions, right? Seeing the progressions. Oh man,
and it was the same. Cadence,
nothing
same
different
energy, nothing
different.
That's
what made us fall in love with him, right? He brought the same energy to a packed Hammerstein ballroom to a gym with 15 people. If you guys don't know what we're talking about an indie wrestler named Tommy Invincible who went viral, I think about 8 months ago, something like that. About a year ago, where he had a super hype entrance screaming at the top of his lungs his name, Invincible. And he was doing it to what felt like, I don't think I'm exaggerating here, like 10 people. But he brought this energy as if there was 100,000 people there. And he made all 10 of those people feel like they were getting their money's worth. And immediately I'm like, that's a guy that loves the game. This is a guy that gets it. He understands that regardless of the size of the audience, you need to go out there and entertain. People paid. People are there to see you. They've taken time out of their day. Let's make their day with a great performance. And he had the exact same energy of entrance with his entrance with 10 people versus this entrance with thousands of people in the Hammerstein Ballroom, and what I would assume is the biggest, most high-profile match that he's had in his career against Matt Cardona. I thought it was so cool.
It was so cool. And I, for him to perform and for him to get that match using social media, challenging Matt Cardona, calling him out. And it's so interesting, right? Zack Ryder, aka Matt Cardona, the guy who made himself on the internet, going against a guy who made himself on the internet. Awesome stuff. And I know I just wish that people understood the magnitude of that moment a little bit more, because it kind of went under the wayside in terms of, it got washed over considering like a lot happened this week, considering the United States, all this inauguration stuff. Dog, Tommy Invincible, dude.
Yeah, man.
That's a dream, dude. That's
that right there, man. That's the real inauguration right there.
That's
Tommy
right there,
Invincible.
dude. And I'm hoping there's more from it, and I'm hoping that he gets more, because as someone that's going to go great on his reel, you can't deny that a match with Matt Cardona doesn't turn heads will give him a little bit more boost in terms of indie bookings and things of that sort, and a little bit more quiche. But good for Matt Cardona as well for taking that and helping CEO. Now, hopefully that get a little bit more boost for Tommy, and that keeps him. It's one of those moments, like I mentioned so many times in my social media career or my social content creating career, is that you're going to have a moment where you go, hell yeah, I could keep going. And hopefully that's going to be for Tommy. And it's a message for anyone out there, dude. Just keep going. Do you know that this man just works out like constantly? Like,
dude, he's a beast.
He's in the gym.
Yeah,
he's a beast. But man, how dare you, Matt Cardona? How dare you for not putting Tommy over? You had an opportunity to make history, and you're so selfish. How dare you?
Dude, Cardona's like, it's just not going to work for me, brother. Dude,
I'm hoping Cardona ends up in the Rumble. I think it seems possible. Because GCW is still a partner with WWE, kind of, sort of. Did you see that Baron Corbin made a debut in GCW?
I did not. I missed that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The ropes down, no turnbuckles type of match.
Oh, the Bloodsport.
Yeah, dude. And he looked cool. He went by his real name, by the way, too.
Which is?
Brother, you could Tom, I don't know. I respect you, Baron. I love your food. It looks delicious.
I love your food.
Let me look it up. I could have stalled. Let's see. It is Thomas Pestak.
Okay, Thomas Pestak. Yeah. Cool. Shall we bring it home here?
Shall we bring it home here? Can I talk about one more quick thing?
Oh, sure. What?
I want to know the people out there in our wrestling school community. If you're in the Dallas, Los Angeles area, there's a thing called comms, It's a special type of place like a Top Golf where it's like an arena. It is simulating the arena experience like a stadium, but then it has a big screen like an IMAX. And they're advertising. I know you didn't get this because you get no commercials, but they're advertising the ability to go to this event at the Royal Rumble. And so they're going to show the Royal Rumble in this stadium-esque place, and it's $77 for the stadium experience. So are the people out there interested in this? Because I know they do this for, college football games and Super Bowl. But are you, as a wrestling fan, going to go to this place to get like stadium food, stadium snacks, alcohol, and watch the Royal Rumble? Because I think they're going to do like a special seat, Santi. It's like a VR.
I was going to ask you, like, where is people's perspective going to be? Are they as if like they're watching it from home on TV, just on a giant screen? Or is there a special camera that's like ringside that will give the experience of them being ringside?
It's a special camera that goes in different places. So it's like sometimes you're way up, so you get the feeling that you're in a stadium, and then you go all the way close. So I had never seen it in the wrestling realm, but $77, I mean, that's for one ticket. The lowest ticket price is $11, but that's for like a stadium room in a different area that's not like the stadium. And then $22 is the medium. So interesting to see that. It's only in two places in Los Angeles.
So there
and
are
Dallas.
better seats than others and something that's a screen?
Yeah. Well, it's like, no, there's like an area with the Scream Stadium. Like think about like a set with a stadium and everything in the screen. And then there's another screen that's like a big IMAX type of screen. It has more like movie theater type of seats.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I don't know, dude. It seems interesting to me that it's a way for smaller markets to build a stadium atmosphere without going to that stadium. Like I wonder if the WWE would do. I wish WWE would have watch parties at Dave and Buster's. I think that'd be cool.
They used to do. Remember, like in the late Attitude Era, they'd have like their world restaurants in Times Square and
New
stuff.
York. Yep.
Yeah.
I covered if you ever go to the footages of that what a wild time to be around at the Times Square. And I made a video essay about this, how they would have signings, book signings, wrestling signings. They would have watch parties. They would have bands, and wrestlers would just show up. Like so many random things at that place. But of course, restaurants. I heard the food was terrible, but they would actually have promos there too. Like they would have Big Show eating food, and the camera would be there. I swear, you did. And Big Show would be ordering
I've
food.
seen it. I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shall we bring this home?
We shall bring this home. Folks, it is time for the New Heat Order. If you've never heard of the New Heat Order, it is a list here in the Wrestling School community where we decide who is the top 10 wrestlers, superstars that get us the buzz, the excitement, not necessarily the best in-ring or promotion, things of that sort, promo-wise. So here's the New Heat Order going into this week. And then I put these on my social, on my Sancho West Wrestling on YouTube. So Sancho West Wrestling on YouTube, check it out. Going into last week, we had Penta at 1, Jey Uso at 2, 3, Gunther number 4, Rhea Ripley number 5, Oba and Julia after winning their titles. 6, Jacob Fatu, number 7, Lyra Valkyria winning her IC title. Number 8, CM Punk, Seth Rollins and Drew. Number 9, Chad Gable. And number 10, Dominic Liv Morgan. Who do we have at number 1? That's my Jeff Goldblum impression.
Yes. That's actually not a bad Jeff Goldblum.
Thank you.
I just watched Wicked, so like they came out with him being the Wizard of Oz. Wasn't expecting that. They got me good.
Hey, we'll talk about this. I want to marinate this. Who is the Wicked of the WWE? I think Alpha is Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good Alphaba. Yeah. People that did not watch Wicked have no idea.
Who's Galinda? Is it Cody?
I just Galinda. Yeah, that's 100% it. Galinda is Cody.
Yeah. Number 1.
Glinda now. Remember, she removed the G.
Oh, Linda now.
It's just Glinda, not Galinda.
What's your favorite Wicked song?
I mean, I'm a sucker for popular. I am. It's a basic one, but I also like the Gravity one. I can't remember the name of the song.
Defying Gravity.
Yeah, that one.
Defying Gravity. I like What Is This Feeling? What is this feeling?
I got a feeling.
That's not it.
I know.
No, it's not it. It's Alterating Loathing.
Nah, that's a good one. That is a good one.
I want it all. That's us, dude.
No, it's not.
Are you Galinda or Alphaba?
Out of us two? Brother, I'm the Wizard of Oz. This is who I am.
You're a charlatan, eh?
I'm a charlatan. I've conned people into watching me.
I want it all. All right, number 1. All I know is CM Punk's high up there. Because
Could we say, look, I feel like it's Jacob Fatu, number one.
Ooh.
He looked
Jacob
so
Fatu.
sad when Solo walked away. Like his heart was broken.
Jacob Fatu roasting your Chargers.
I know. Oh, I remember. I remember.
Dusty ass San Diego town. Dog, there's something about the word dusty that just makes you
It
feel
works,
wrong.
man. It's a good insult. It's tough to come back from.
Right. I like Gunther. Drew was solid. I think maybe Drew at 2.
Sami
Cody
Zayn,
was on
probably, honestly. Like between like
Sammy?
all, yeah. Like if you think about like how much of a like the anchor being of that episode of Monday Night Raw, it was Sami Zayn.
There you go. That's her list. People go like, it's hard to keep up when you got without these expensive graphics. Okay, number 3. Not much from Jey Uso this round, I would say. He didn't have that fire emotional thing.
Maybe Kevin
Charlotte
Owens.
Flair?
Oh, Charlotte Flair. Not
We
yet.
got the vignette.
A little bit further down. I would, but I would be interested.
The Andrade-esque.
It is feeling Andrade-esque. Yeah, it is feeling Andrade-esque.
A little Charlotte by Elegance.
Oh, not that. No, not that.
It feels that way a little bit, though.
Not
right?
that. Not that. Trying to think here.
This is a hard week.
It's a hard week because no one really stands out. Tiffany Stratton, beating clean. Beating Bailey, not Nia.
I like that. Didn't she feel like I told you that once she got the belt, she got elevated? Like she got that little upgrade. Like,
what about Roxanne Perez appearing on both Raw, SmackDown, getting ready clearly for a call up, facing off against Bailey in a promo in NXT?
If it caused her to lose, then I would say her. But Bailey didn't lose because of it,
which is weird, right? Like, why not have her lose because of Roxanne?
She kicked over a fan though on accident. Did you see that?
I did. Is what it is, brother. Yeah,
is what it is.
You got the full experience, dude.
Here's a signed chair. Sorry.
Yep.
Don't sue us. Dog, I would want pictures with Cody. I would want to hold the belt.
I want my chicken nuggets. I want to play PlayStation
5. Oh, dude, I want it all. Number 4, Rhea?
Sure.
Rhea had that great promo, right? I'll see you. Main event. I have bad news. Like, that's the kind of vibe, dude.
Is that what she said? Yeah, sure. Throw Rhea in here.
I'm surprised that that table, dude. I'm telling you, it's gonna break at some point. It's gonna be monumentous.
Dude,
that table's getting put over.
Dude, I feel like you brought up this table for the past 4 weeks.
Dude. I'm watching it like a hawk.
Yeah, man. You're just waiting for the moment. Is it gonna crumble? Is today the day?
Dude, Nia cleared it, and I was like, "Oh, here we go."
What do we got so far?
We got 1, Jacob Fatu, 2, Sami Zayn, 3, Tiffany Stratton.
What about Drew McIntyre here?
Yeah, I put Daddy Drew.
You could put Drew and Seth, honestly, like back to back here. I would do Drew, Seth, Punk this week.
Yeah, I like that. Separate them because they did their own thing. Seth with a great match, dude. It's interesting that Seth was like he was getting beaten, like literally beaten by Drew. And I like how Drew's being built up as his dominator in the ring now.
The Dominator.
The Dominator. Because I feel what was interesting as this was a rematch for Mania was that this was actually a match because Mania itself was just finishers because of Seth's injury. So we got like an actual match. So that leaves us 8, 9, 10, Mike.
What about giving me...
I'll give you something already.
Are you down for a Penta?
Wow. Falling from 1 to 8.
Yeah. And why not also, hear me out, Los Garzas.
Dude, they had a great showing on SmackDown.
They lost, but like they're actually getting buzz. People are talking about Los Garzas. They're getting backstage segments. They're demonstrating to the world that damn it, they were being shackled. And they're good. Okay, I appreciate the 10 on the Los Garzas.
I put them in 10.
And 9, give me 9. I would say Kevin Owens.
Ooh. Yeah, I like that. Kevin Owens with the most logical heel promo of all time, almost, it feels. Oh, I think I'm satisfied with that list.
Are you satiated?
I am satiated, sir. Number 1, Jacob Fatu. Number 2, Sami Zayn. Number 3, Tiffany Stratton. Number 4, Rhea Ripley. Number 5, Drew Mack. Number 6, Seth Rollins. Number 7, CM Punk. Number 8, Penta. Number 9, Kevin Owens. And number 10, Los Garza. That wraps up the New Heat order. Be sure to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube.
All right, folks.
There we go.
Thank you all very much for listening to this episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast. Don't forget that you could have gotten this episode 3 days earlier than everywhere else. Lucha. Don't have Penta do that ever. All right. Or doing LW. Oh. No, never. A special thank you goes out to our $15 patrons. They are the ones that are the producers of the show. So thank you very much. A special thank you goes out to Sancho for president. F you, Santi. I'm first now. Nick Harvey, first patron. I Crazy Dude says, you're all copycats. Aaron Garcia, Abel Rodriguez, Akai is gone. Alejandro, Alex Regal. Alex, Anita Max Win, Antony, Arrogance, Ashley, Asperlitz, Ozzy Kingslayer, Austin Baker, Authentic Chocolate, Aiden Sean, Bailey Farton. I want to make sure I said that right. Okay. Beckham Dragonov, Ben Farton. Okay, there we go. That's the Farton I know. Dude, we got the Farton family here. We got all...
Like a kid's book.
Barry McCockiner. Oh, God damn it. You got me. Well done. Be Hostile, Big Shy, Blast Pass 64, Brad, Brady Keaton, Brandon, Braden, Brian Ibarra, Bryce Burt, By the Eye of Agamotto, Caleb Lee, Callus
By the Eye of Agamotto. Marvel Rivals.
Cameron Noel, Cameron talks WWE, Carlos Gonzalez, CB, Chargers and Cowboys suck, Bills better, Chew Poppy, Chimchar's Collectibles, Chris Butner Lucas, Chris Eric Clark Jr., Christian Billick, Christian G, Christopher, CM Puff, Colin O'Malley, conductor of the Penta train, Connor Williamson, Cool Whip Tim, Dark Flame, Dixon. No, I'm not going to say that one. Nice try. You almost got me. I'm on high alert now, guys. Last name Maez. Thank you, Mr. Maez. Dom should win everything. Dom's Dirty Tendies, Dorian Best, Drew Baumgarn, Dumsky, Dylan Kana, El Yoshi, Ellie McNeese, Emmanuel Holmes, Aaron Thorne, ISATS, kidnapped by the cartel during his cruise, Fletcher Walpole, Floating, Forever Wrestling, Franklin L. Everett, Gamerscape, George Valdez, Gilbert Deans, Goofy Goober, GXA Man, Heartfelt, Hey Snakes, Hoodie Cam, Isaac Murray, Issa David, Jag Gibley, Jackson, Jacob Pena, Jacob Staffel, Jadishan, Jaden Davis, Jake Adams, Jake Shavoya, James Brian Balago, Jassim Alcazar, Javier Rodriguez, Jalen Steele, Jesse Guerrero, Jihihi, Ahihi, Joe Velez, Joey Romig, Jolly Green Giant, Jordan Lynch, Jordan Marte, Josby, Jose Ceja, Jose Santi's cousin, Josh Sutton, JR2619, Juan Verduzco, Judson Daniels, Juicy J153, Justin Brooks, Justin Perkins, Caden Rivers, Casaz, Kuwaiti Rig Bugs, Kyrie Lawrence, Leon, let me boo you out of this building, brother. Lil Shifu, Lincoln Tamiti, Luke Barker, Luke Sika, Manly Man, Marnie YCSM, Matthew Dollar, Matthew Oberg, Matthew Watkins, Mackay, Michael Purnell, Miguel Paredes, Mikey Rada, Mitchell Harris, Mitchell X, Muhammad Albanai, Monte Moore, Nathaniel Stevenson, Neb, Nellen Zach, Nicholas Kyle, Noah, Obinobi, Orton Here's a Who. I like that one. That's good. Orton Here's a Who. That maybe those are the voices in his head, brother. They're the ones. The Who's were telling him to punt people.
I thought it was the Lorax.
Osama Awad, Pat R, Pat McMark, Paula Heyman Guy, Pim Kaw, Frody, Punk Fan 6, Puppet Spanker Johnson, Raphael, Reaper God, Ricky Dutcher, R.I.P. Matt Pat, he will be missed. R.I.P. Matt Pat, thank you, sir, Nightmare. RKO, not RKD, Santi, Robert Rogers, Rocky B, Riley, Sancho needs Alkinskin, I don't know what that is. Santi, spell I Cup to John Cena. Santi wants Sancho to give him the glaze. Santi, on a scale of 1 to 10, how cute is Sancho? Saudi Rig Boogs, Screamo Scott,
Answer.
Semba, 4.
Answer.
Shaggy WWE,
Deal.
Shane. It changes every week. It all depends on what you're wearing. So you better bring in the A game. See, that's why you're lower this week. That's why you're lower. Shitstain Nakamura, that's his name, brother. I don't know what to tell you. Simon Scareborn, Sip God, Sir Alberton, Skylar Brashears, Slow Toke Rodriguez, Solo, I love you, Solo, fuck you. Summer, Spicy Nuggets, Stephanie Vaquer lookalike contest in my bedroom, Stucky, Sugar Shane, Super Malachi Galaxy, Tanner Cloudis, The Final Pebble, the Lewis brand, Thiem is a Dutch name that Santi can't say correct, Timmy Fitzmaurice, Tobias Burnett, Tommy, Trendhead, Ty, Tyler Free, V. Charles, Juan Pablo II, White Mexican, Woe JC, Javier Izquierdo, Zach Zmira, Deadshot, Zach Griffin, Zach Butcher, Zay2K, and Zerg Zito. Thank you all very much for supporting us here on the Wrestling is Cool podcast. We really appreciate your support. Oh, there's also Lord BB&J. Almost missed you.
Oh.
You folks take care. Be wonderful people. Thank you for listening to the podcast, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.